apparently Sucker Punch, they fired the guy that was making fun of Charlie Kirk's death. And now there is like backlash coming from everywhere. So the people, shout out Master of the TDS, who collected all these wonderful receipts over there on Blue Sky, who now wants this this campaign boycotted.
So you got
like the one group that's like, I'm not playing this game. You have people, you fired the one person for making fun of Charlie, but all the other people that still like the post and everything on Blue Sky, you kept those around. So I'm done. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that game now because you fired the guy that made the post about Charlie. The left people, the left crazy people are saying, we're going to boycott that game too.
Yeah. The funny thing is, if you go look at like the likes on Blue Sky and stuff, most of those people have 0 likes or like maybe top like 3 or 4 because there's nobody on that platform. Right. And to me, if anything, that's the funniest part is like, yeah, they're turning on you and they're going, we're not going to watch this. But they like when you see the response, there's no support because these people, first of all, don't have any money. Most of them are completely broke. And then most of them were not going to buy the game in the first place. It's perfect. It absolutely exposes like, hey, guess what? You know what? The people that have actually proven to us, because the thing is, we've been all canceling Disney Plus and not buying some of these games, and we've seen it affect the bottom line with Disney. We've seen it affect, you know, like places like Battlefield, even Call of Duty have seen backlash in it affect their bottom line. But anytime leftists are like, we're going to boycott anything, it doesn't really affect anything. They don't go out and buy these games.
What are some of these people saying, Beardo? Can you read that? It's kind of small.
Yeah. So it's small. So I can read these. But Mike's right. I said this yesterday on Daily. These people on the left who love to boycott or scream at the sky on the internet, they aren't actually buying the product. They aren't buying toys. They're not buying action figures. They're not buying movie tickets. They're not buying video games because they don't have any money. They don't have real jobs. So they're using their government funding on hair dye and DoorDash. They don't have the money to support video games or movies. But yes, I will read these responses, and most of these, they're just quote tweeting or responding. You
don't have to read all of them. Just kind of give us a general.
Time to boycott Ghost of Yotei and Sony until they reinstate the artist at Sucker Punch. Why are you capitulating to the far right? Your game's star is someone Charlie Kirk would have wanted to die. Absolutely disgusting behavior to crumble to a harassment campaign so easily and so fully. Management at Sucker Punch should be ashamed. Should the employee have been disciplined? Maybe, but firing them over so small of a joke that isn't even at Charlie Kirk's expense is ridiculous. Boycott Ghost of Yotei. Fuck Sucker Punch. Fuck their CEO and upper echelon for capitulating to fucking fascists.
Well, the story gets crazier because if you have that Park Place article, because apparently they were censoring comments on their teaser trailer. If you want to go through this real quick.
Yeah. So PlayStation accused of censoring YouTuber Yellow Flash on Ghost of Yotei trailer for Rest in Peace Charlie Kirk comment. The controversy swirling around Sucker Punch Productions, Sony, and the upcoming Ghost of Yotei continues to deepen. Now, accusations of censorship are being leveled at PlayStation after YouTuber Yellow Flash claimed his heavily upvoted comment on the latest Ghost of Yotei trailer was hidden from public view. Here's Yellow Flash comment. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk that he had over 3,000 likes on. And 88
replies,
and 88 replies here. And the comment section is flooded on the YouTube video with similar comments. Once
the word got out that they were trying to censor anything Charlie Kirk related, they were trying to remove it. And look, they're almost at 50,000 downvotes on the trailer that they released. And it's like, I'm just here to look at the comments. I find them more interesting. Yeah, and it's just, you have no honor. But the comments did not disappoint, gentlemen. if you keep scrolling down, you will find some there. There's another one, R.I.P. Charlie, but he spelled it Charlie Kirk with
Maybe
a
that was
Y.
to get around. Maybe that's he
You
spelled
know,
it that way to get around the
rest in peace,
algorithm.
Charlie. Yeah, it's like so you could see you have no honor, you will have no sales either.
Yep.
So here's one that made it through. I guess they realized they were getting like double backlash, not only from the lefties, but like people that were interested in this game at one point. And you know, I guess they were trying to make it right. I don't know. I guess they were trying to make it right, but they have really royally screwed themselves over. I do know there was a lot of people looking forward to playing this game. I loved Ghost of Mitsubishi. Ghost of Mitsubishi was great when that came out. That is like, I played that.
Wow,
I played the bonus. I played the co-op stuff. I thought it was fantastic.
Yep.
So there were people interested in this game. But again, you have these crazy activists that are part of these video games that felt that they needed to go out and celebrate the assassination of a man, you know, and say horrific, stupid things. They couldn't help themselves because that's who they are. They can't even put a pause on anything. They can't help themselves. Mm-hmm. They have to go out and cheer on disgusting behavior. They have to cheer it on because that's who they are. And then, you know, they get fired, they lose their job or whatever. And it's just like, now you've got a game that's coming out where your whole business is to sell games. You've upset everyone because there's no back walking, you know, any of that kind of stuff. And now look, here's where we are.
Well, so people were initially excited for a Ghost of Tsushima sequel. People were hungry for it because the first one was phenomenal. But then, you know, the trailer for the new one came out. They weren't thrilled that it was going to be a female main character, which I don't have a problem with playing a game as a female main character if it makes sense. I love the Resident Evil games, and Jill Valentine is one of the most popular Resident Evil characters that there is. Yep. So I don't have a problem with that. But then, Jay, before this, and Mike, you might have to correct me on exactly what she said, but the lead actress who is playing Yotei in the game, she had some comments on Twitter a few months ago that pissed off the right. And the right's like, we're not playing this game. We don't support this kind of fucking nonsense that she said. Mike, do you remember what the actress was saying?
I don't remember what she said, but I mean, I know it came out that she was like non-binary and so she's a they them and there was a couple other things, and
she might have had some anti-Trump tweets or something like that.
Yeah, like anti-Trump tweets and just kind of stuff like that. And it was like kind of it wasn't like a massive controversy. It was more like people were like, okay, yeah, we're already like not sold on the fact that like a female protagonist here feels like you guys kind of bait and switched us, like you made a good game and now all of a sudden we have to like, you know, now we have to play as a female. But then, yeah, some of her comments and stuff back shortly after that were kind of controversial. And yeah, I think it just turned off a lot of people because people just don't have any tolerance anymore for it. They're just like, nah, you know what? Even if the last game was good, I don't know if I want to keep playing this. I'm not that interested. Mm-hmm. I already played one good game. I don't want to go back and I'm not going to sit there and be talked down to. And I think that that's for good reason. So
yeah, so you had the actress say some dumb stuff, and then you had the lead designer mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. Yep. So now the right wing is doubling down. We're not going to play this game. But then now that she got fired, now the left is like, well, we're not going to play this game either. This game is toast, Jay. This game is done. Dead on arrival. Nobody's going to fucking play this thing.
Nope.
Too bad.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah, I actually shout out to Raging Rhino. He sent me one of the tweets was her saying, I'm Antifa, so's my wife. Even though, you know, yeah, it's supposed to be they, them and stuff. So yeah, I mean, like, yep. You know, it's one of those things. But once again, I wouldn't, none of us here would cancel a person just for having, you know, living their life and doing whatever they want to do. But you're going to run around talking about it, you're Antifa and all that stuff. It makes people concerned. Like, yo, we have not seen you guys able to separate your politics from your artistry or your professions. And guess what? Now it looks like we're being proven right again.
And there's people there's you know, YouTubers who play games for like rage bait. Like they'll play it to be to make fun of the game. Like we see it in our community, like Mauler or Az will play a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows to make fun of it while streaming, which I mean, you got to grift where you got to grift. Of course, I respect it, but we got to draw the line sometime and say, none of us are going to play this, even if it is just to make fun of the game. Like in this game situation, just don't even fucking play it, man. Even to make fun of it, like you just got to stop.
Well, in this situation though, too, this isn't like one of those games like playing it to mock it, because like, you know, Dragon Age, like Failguard, you play that game to mock it because it looks like dog crap, and you know that it's probably going to play like dog crap. Or you play a game like Assassin's Creed a Black Simulator because you know that it's not going to probably run very well, and there's a lot of that kind of stuff, and the premise is ridiculous. Game like Ghost of Yotei, like playing it to like own somebody or make jokes about it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But you know, it's one of those things. I do think that you know, I think they're going to lose a lot of money on this for sure. I think that the writing's on the wall for that, because this franchise wasn't that big to begin with. It was popular and it did well, but it wasn't like some like groundbreaking thing. They hadn't really established themselves, you know. And we've already saw too, like with, you know, The Last of Us to The Last of Us Part 2, how quickly a bad game can ruin, you know, your reputation in the industry. So yeah, man, I don't think it's going to make any money.